Hi guys, today's video is going to be about the Phantom 2 and what we're actually going to do is fly out to this island that you can see in the distance here, which is known as Hilbre Island. This is actually something that I've wanted to do for a long time, but unfortunately the weather has not been helpful. Fortunately today we have the weather blowing into the coast, so I'm not afraid to actually try and attempt this flight. Although the island looks very close, as you can see, it's actually quite far away. We're now at 300 meters and it looks like we're halfway there, but I can assure you we're not. The video transmitter being used is immersion 600mW and we're using the Spironet antennas. For a receiver I'm using the Immersion RC Duo, again with an Immersion RC Spironet antenna and also Immersion RC's patch antenna. The patch antenna gives you very good video quality over large distances. The water that I'm flying over here is actually salt water, so if I crash this Phantom into here, I know I'm going to ruin all of my electronics. Let's check the OSD and see what range we're at now. So as you can see on the left flashing there, the D for distance, we're now up to 770 meters. We're at a height of 12 meters and a speed of 11.5 meters per second. As you can see on the bottom left, I'm flying in ATT, otherwise known as attitude mode. The reason for this is that attitude mode actually helps you fly faster, and because I'm flying into a headwind, I need all the help I can get. And we've just crossed over into the 1 kilometer mark. If you watch the attitude gauge in the centre of the screen, you can see it'll start to lean to the right, telling me that I'm starting to get a right crosswind. Video quality from the Immersion 600mW and the Duo is still very good. As we approach the island, I checked the battery and I'm still at 84%, so tons of battery to get there and back. And on the top right hand side you can see I've still got a good GPS resolution of 10 satellites. Coming up to the 1.4 kilometer range now, we switch to the HD. As you can see we've got some birds taking off, actually scared by the 2 people walking out onto the beach. So we're strafe right a little bit just to stay away from them. You may also notice that the gimbal is not 100% level. I can fix this with just a simple IMU calibration. You will also notice in this bright weather that I'm actually getting some jello effect on the camera. So as I approach the island now, can you guess how many meters I've actually flown? Well, there you have it, 1.8 kilometers, otherwise known as 1.2 miles. You may notice in the centre of the screen that there's actually a transmitting mast on the island, and I happen to know that it also uses 5.8, so I'll try and stay far away from there. You can tell looking at the flags just how windy it is, and it's coming from the right hand side just as I said. So I stop here and take in the surroundings. Looking back towards where I took off from, it's extremely hard to know where to fly home to. Fortunately, when you're using DJI's Mini IOSD, I know I can just follow that diamond in the centre there, and I'll always find my way home. If you look at the distance marker, I'm now at 1.7 kilometers. Just turning around to look at the home position is actually blowing me 150 meters out. So I head back in towards the island. Battery voltage is still at 73%, so I'm feeling very confident, especially with the very strong video signal as well. It's clear here that there's quite a few visitors on the island today, so I ensure that I don't fly over and annoy anybody. So let's check our total distance. As you can see, we're just climbing up now to 1,887 meters, which is a new personal record. And so it's mission accomplished. I made it to the island. All I have to do now is fly home towards the diamond. Video quality is always at its worst when you're flying home, especially with one of my builds, because the video transmitter is on the rear of the machine, which is now facing the island. I'm also heading with the wind now, so as you can see I'm travelling at 21.3 meters per second, roughly around 50 miles an hour. Again, if you look at the attitude gauge in the middle, it's now leaning to the left, showing that I've got a left to right crosswind. You'll see this later on the FlightTrex log. Here's a quick look at the FlightTrex log. As you can see, total duration 13.5 minutes, I travelled 3.4 miles in total, my maximum distance was 1.2 miles, my speed was 50.18 miles per hour, and apparently my height was 342, but I'm not too sure about that. If you look at the blue line which I actually flown, straight out to the island was pretty straight, but as I came back with that crosswind from left to right, it blew me off course slightly, but I corrected at the end. That's all for now guys, thanks for watching.